Alright, folks, hoping that the lighting is okay with you all. I wanted to go ahead and do the second part of this on conservatorship while the other one is loading up onto YouTube. So let's get back into the article we were taking a look at. Get it pulled back up for you here. Okay, so a source close to Spears told Melez this was nothing new. We just went over this a moment ago where they were basically saying she doesn't have the right mind to understand her issues. It's the biggest cop-out you'll see in the mental health and disability industry, folks. They're always trying to tell us we don't really understand because that's the easiest way in order to maintain their control. But moving on, a lawyer who said he represented Spears tried to end her conservatorship in 2009 but was denied by the judge, reported, adding that Spears' conservatorship terms would not have allowed her to hire him. Again, no decisions can she make on her own without permission. After the May hearing, Rudolph, Spears' manager, said he wasn't sure if or when she will ever want to work again. Gee, I wonder why. In a second hearing in September 2019, Jamie asked to be temporarily removed as a conservator. The role was temporarily appointed to Britney Spears' care manager. TMZ reported that Jamie Spears filed the paperwork to temporarily step down as conservator so he could focus on his health. However, the move came after Jamie Spears was accused of having altercation with Spears' son, Sean. Kat Tinbarge reported for The Insider. The singer's ex-husband and father of her two children, Kevin Federline, filed a police report that led to a child abuse investigation. Charges weren't filed, but the children were granted a restraining order against Jamie Spears, according to People. The plot thickens. The judge allowed Jamie Spears to step down from his conservator role over his daughter's personal life, but not her financial life. Oh, of course not. Jody Montgomery, Britney Spears' care manager, was appointed as a temporary conservator of Britney's personal life at Jamie's request, according to People. Which means he's still in control, folks, in case you didn't know. Jamie received another court win that year after suing the Absolute Britney blogger Anthony Elliott, a source of the Free Britney movement, accusing him of spreading false and defamatory information. Trying to silence, aren't you? Jamie Spears alleged that Elliott falsely suggested that Jamie and his team were using social media to hurt his daughter's image and making it seem that Britney was unstable and needed a conservatorship. To prove it, Jamie Spears said suggestions sparked several death threats against those involved in the conservatorship. Excuse me. Above the law reported. Excuse me. In December, the court ordered Elliott to stop the allegations against the conservatorship, particularly those suggesting the conservatorship is harming Britney Spears. Spears' mother, Lynn Spears, made attempts in 2019 to get involved in the conservatorship. She's also reportedly engaged with the Free Britney movement. Gee, I wonder why I can't have her mother having anything to do with it. Can we, really? Lynn Spears, who was discovered from Jamie, filed a legal motion in 2019 to be involved in the conservatorship process. She wanted to stay informed and have a say in her daughter's medical issues. Gee, how unreasonable of her. Mila's reported citing court filings. She was present at Britney's court hearings that year, TMZ reported. Lynn Spears was also spotted liking comments on Instagram about the Free Britney movement, Yar wrote. And when fans noticed that the positive comments were being deleted from Britney Spears' social media account, Lynn responded to an Instagram post and said she also noticed the comments had disappeared, Guy reported. Spears' conservatorship was extended twice in early 2020. In February, an LA County judge extended Spears' conservatorship until April 30th. Montgomery will also remain temporary conservator until that date, the International Business Times' Sarah Guy reported. According to the blast, which obtained the new legal documents, the judge extended the conservatorship while those involved to figure out what is best for Spears. Because, she's not a full-functioning adult who can't figure that out for herself when she is properly accommodated, like the rest of us. They decided to extend the conservatorship again until at least August the 22nd, Entertainment Tonight's Liz Cavero reported. According to court documents obtained by ET, a hearing on the matter never took place due to the coronavirus pandemic. The news comes around the same time Spears posted a video to her Instagram revealing that she accidentally burned down her home gym after leaving candles lit. And they're going to use that, right? Well, let's move on here. After the Free Britney movement was in the limelight yet again in July, it prompted Spears' former photographer Andrew Gallery to read a letter on TikTok that he says Spears wrote about her conservatorship. Gallery said Spears wrote the letter at the beginning of her conservatorship, according to U.S. Weekly. Gallery claims Spears gave him the letter at the time, which was destroyed by her conservators, but he made a copy of it. Spears wrote the letter from a third-person point of view. As for Kevin saying Britney divorced him, she was forced to by her lawyers because she went to visit him in New York and he wouldn't let her see her and the children, and her lawyers said, okay, rewind. She was forced by her lawyers because she went to visit him in New York and he wouldn't let her see her and the children, and her lawyers said if she doesn't divorce him, he's going to do it himself. Reads the singer's alleged letter in part. Referring to the 2008 incident that resulted in her hospitalization, she allegedly wrote, "No one knows the truth." Her behavior when her children got taken away because of her locking herself in the bathroom is understandable, considering her friend at the door kept telling her the cops are leaving, don't worry, stay in the bathroom. She was lied to and set up, the letter reads. Her children were taken away, and she did spin out of control, which any mother would under those circumstances. The Daily Mail publishes images of the handwritten letter in 2019. Don't worry, folks, we're almost done. In August, Spears asked the courts for the removal of her father as sole conservator of her estate. Instead, the judge extended the conservatorship through February 1st, 2021. Spears wants Montgomery, the temporary conservator who took over in 2019, to take over as conservator permanently, TMZ reported, citing court documents filed by Spears' attorney. Her current attorney, Samuel D. Ingham III, stated in the court filings that Spears wanted a qualified corporate fiduciary managing the business affairs of her estate. According to U.S. Weekly, which reviewed the court filings, the pop star is strongly opposed to having Jamie return as the conservator of her person and strongly prefers that Montgomery continue in the role as she has done for nearly a year. But after hearing on August 19, Judge Brenda Penny of Los Angeles County Superior Court in California said she would extend the current version of the conservatorship, not granting any of the changes Spears' lawyer requested in the filings through February 1st, 2021. The same month, court documents revealed that Spears' sister, Jamie Lynn Spears, was secretly named a trustee. She recently filed for more control over Spears' financial affairs. Jamie Lynn was named a trustee on Spears' SJB Revocable Trust in 2018. Court documents obtained by the blast revealed the trust was made for Spears' children. Jamie Lynn is also in charge of distributing these assets to Spears' children in the event of her death, the Los Angeles Times reported. According to the LA Times, Jamie Lynn is requesting that the court remove the assets into the Fidelity Brokerage Services accounts with her as the custodian. A judge would need to approve moving them back out. Doesn't look like even her sister is trusting the father. In September, Spears' attorney filed a request to open her future court hearings to the public, suggesting that Spears supports the Free Britney movement. Spears' attorney, Samuel D. Ingham III, filed court documents on September 2nd stating she wants her future court hearings about the conservatorship open to the public, reported Natalie Morin of Refinery 29. Britney herself is vehemently opposed to this effort by her father to keep her legal struggle hidden away in the closet as a family secret, Ingham wrote. Ingham also said that the Free Britney movement is far from being a conspiracy theory, and that the social media scrutiny over Jamie's attempts to keep court hearings private is reasonable. I would hope so. Whatever merits his strategy might have had years ago when Britney was trying to restart her career, at this point in her life, when she's trying to regain some measure of personal autonomy, Britney welcomes and appreciates the informed support of her many fans, he wrote. Spears also argued against her father's petition to reinstate Wallet, her former lawyer, as a co-conservator. Jamie Spears withdrew this petition in October. Jamie Spears had asked the court to reappoint Wallet back in August, according to Haley Phelan of Vanity Fair. Ingham alleged that the petition was in retaliation to Spears' refusal to reform, which will require Jamie Spears to undertake drastic changes to her budget. He argued that while it was uniquely unsuitable for the role, if she doesn't want to perform, she doesn't have to perform. This is what I mean when I say complete control. He argued that while it was uniquely unsuitable for the role, Wallet told the Daily Mail that people lurking in the shadows are behind the Free Britney movement. Of course. Really? Doesn't that sound familiar? We're bots, you know. I can't say who, but it is hurting Britney. She's the only one who gets hurt by all of this, he said. Yes, we're hurting her for having common sense. Okay. He also told the publication that Britney is in a conservatorship for a good reason, but a lot of the Free Britney people have no experience with the law. Again, they're going to insult our intelligence. We don't get it. We don't know what's going on. Go behind our nice walls and be good little fans, and don't forget to spend all your money on the new album, okay? There you go. Have a good day. He also told the publication, adding that it's possible she might be in a conservatorship for the rest of her life. Wow. So much for temporary, huh? In November, Spears' attorney asked the court to immediately remove her father as co-conservator after Spears learned her business manager had resigned. The court declined. Ingham wrote in the court filing that Britney and her estate will suffer loss and injury if James is not suspended immediately, asking that he be removed as financial company Bessemer Trust was appointed as co-conservator. Spears learned through a letter from her father's lawyer that her longtime business manager, Lou Taylor, had resigned, reported Billboard. Her father had allegedly hired a new business manager, Michael Caine, without Spears knowing, which a guardianship will allow that. You're starting to see why this is dangerous for now, right? Ingham said Spears wasn't informed about Caine's salary or even the employment terms. He described the letter as a blatant attempt by James to try to retain full functional control for assets, books, and records in the face of Britney's objections. James Spears' lawyer argued that under the conservatorship, Spears has climbed out of debt to reach a net worth of $60 million, according to NBC News. Money has nothing to do with it. This is about autonomy and the right to make decisions about your own life. Something that AH doesn't understand. Anyway, while Judge Penny appointed Bessemer Trust as a co-conservator, as Spears was granted rights to expand her legal team the previous month, she didn't grant the request removal of Jamie Spears. However, Spears can still petition the future for her father's removal or suspension. My client has informed me that she is afraid of her father, Ingram later told Penny. She will not perform again if her father is in charge of her career. At the end of 2020, the Spears conservatorship was extended for the fourth time that year. The conservatorship was extended until September 3rd, 2021, according to ET. The court was supposed to review how Jamie handled his Spears assets, but decided to continue the discussion next year. He told CNN that same week he hadn't spoken to Spears since August. I love my daughter and I miss her very much. When a family member needs special care and protection, families need to step up, as I have done for the last 12 plus years, to safeguard, protect, and continue to love Brittany unconditionally. You certainly love her money. He said, I will have and will continue to provide unwavering love and fierce protection against those self-serving interests and those who seek to harm her or my family. Spears' case is being handled in a probate court where conservatorships can go on indefinitely. Probate courts typically oversee conservatorships of elderly people with cognitive disorders, Phelan wrote. Mental health courts typically oversee cases of mental illness. In these courts, the conservator has to petition every year to renew the conservatorship. To end the conservatorship, Spears needs to prove she doesn't need it to get through life, which is kind of hard when you're in a conservatorship and they already have complete control. This is a point I made earlier. Alright. Stage 1, a triage, where conservators rescued her, blah, 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 blah. I'm not going to rehash all that. While Spears is seeking changes to the structure of her conservatorship and is overseeing her life and finances, not asking to dissolve it entirely, some aren't so sure she still needs it at all. Rudolph, Spears' talent manager, previously said that Spears' father wanted her to be free of the conservatorship. He doesn't want this to continue forever. It's his daughter. He wants to see her happy. A functional life without any intervention like this. It sure doesn't seem like it. Okay. Alright, folks. So that pretty much covers the entire timeline of this Britney Spears conservatorship. Now, when we look at Eve Barlow and we look at AH, these two who are comparing these Me Too movements to the Britney Spears situation, they obviously, as you can see through everything we just went through, have no idea what on earth they're talking about. This is an entirely different situation. As you noticed as I went through that entire timeline and broke it down for you, I was getting more and more angry as I went along, because I have dealt with this personally, face-to-face basis, on those who were fighting the very type of conservatorships that Miss Spears is in right now due to abuse of power by those who were the appointed guardians. They have no idea that what it's like to have no financial control, no control of where they live, no control over who they are able to see during the day, what they are able to eat. Conservatorships completely takes away your autonomy as a human being to make any kind of decisions at all about your life. In a best case scenario, a guardian will take your thoughts and your wishes into the account. But unfortunately, there are all too many cases where the person who is in the conservatorship, the conservatorship, is not respected at all. And battling to get out of a conservatorship is a minefield, folks. It is almost impossible to be able to do. You are put in this catch-22 situation because how are you supposed to show that you're responsible and can make your own decisions when you're in a conservatorship that will not allow you to do exactly that? So, to to Eve Barlow, if you happen to come across my 2-parter video today, you have not the first freaking clue what it's like as an adult to be under a conservatorship. None. This is not about a powerful man over a woman. This is about someone taking advantage of someone with a mental illness or a disability in order to obtain from them. It is absolute power given over to someone of somebody else's autonomy. And that is dangerous, whether it starts with the best intentions or not. This is not a Me Too movement thing. This is a disability rights thing, something that both you and Eve Barlow have no freaking clue about. So, back off and don't go dragging Brittany into your drama. Alright. Got a little bit more into that than I expected. But folks, I do appreciate your time today. Now, as always, folks, we don't get many views on this channel. The few that we do get do tend to get removed by YouTube. So if you could, please don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to hit subscribe. And don't forget to hit the comments. Again, thank you for your time today. And I do hope you have a good one. Bye-bye.